Hi friends, it's Sarah from rufflesandrainboots.com, and today we are making an easy fall gnome garland. That's a mouthful. You can either cut this by hand, super easy, or you can use your Cricut because you're lazy like me. If you would like to make them with me, just boop, boop, boop. Stick around. As always, please like this video so I know you're here crafting with me. Now we're going to need wool felted balls, embroidery thread, felt, and Mongolian fur. You're also going to need something for noses and a hot glue gun. So when you put this into your design software, or you're going to print it out and cut it by hand, you're going to need 5 of the different colors of hats. So each hat is the base at about 6.5 inches. Just make sure that lines up in your software if your software tends to resize things. All right, so you can see here, I'm just going to make these 5 different colors. And the reason is because I'm going to duplicate the leaves 5 different times as well. So that on each mat, I cut 1 hat and 3 leaves. So it's all pretty much done for me on the Cricut machine. If you don't have a Cricut, I would definitely print out your templates. I include the PNG so you can use it as well. Print those out on cardstock so you have something a little thicker to work with. So you can see here the Cricut will put everything on its own mat. You do not need to mirror anything here. When you hit continue, you're going to select felt or acrylic fabric. If you're using an Explorer, just choose custom and then felt. You can use either the green mat with your felt or the pink mat for fabric. Choose default pressure and send it to cut. You can see I'm using the Cricut Maker here. If you have any questions on any of the machines, ask me. I have them all. All right, so you can see how easy it is to just pull this off. So if you have a scraper, you can use that for the leaves. And I want to say why, because you see here when I picked it up by the stem, I kind of like bent up the stem. It doesn't come off, it just kind of bent it up. So if you're, particular, use the spatula. To assemble these, it couldn't be easier. Just going to fold over one side and glue the middle down first. For the very, very tops of the hat, I like to vary what they look like. So some of them I'll twist, some of them I'll squeeze together, some of them I'll like kind of put a little bump in them or turn them down with a little hot glue. Just do what you want, be creative. All right, so you can see that little tab down at the bottom. You can either cut it off or leave it. I used to cut it off, now I leave it. So I'm super lazy. All right, so here we go. We're just going to keep doing this for all of the hats. And as I mentioned, vary it up a little bit. You can even put wire in the tips of the hats and get a little cute curly cue for some of them. For this project, I didn't have any small scraps, but do use your small scraps. This is a perfect scrap busting fabric, scrap busting fur idea. So try and minimize your cuts here. Use those little tiny cuts for eyebrows on like the wooden gnomes. But here I'm just going to make sure it sits on the back of the gnome. So that's as wide, it's however wide you want to make your hats. And look, I'm gonna brush out this really cool fur here, slowing it down a little bit. I really like what Mongolian fur looks like when it's all tailored. As for the nose, I mentioned I'm going to use wood rounds, but you can use pom-poms or wood beads. You can use felt rounds that you have in different colors. But you're going to split the fur to the fabric backing, press in a generous bit of hot glue, and then press down your nose. To attach the front of the hat to the body, we're just going to glue just over the top of the nose, pressing the front of the felt down onto it. And then we're going to repeat this. You can vary the sizes of your gnome noses. I ended up changing that. I just didn't like it. So again, splitting the fur to the fabric backing, add a generous portion of hot glue and give an intense nose boop. And then glue that hat front right to the top of the nose. You can give a little scrunch, you can give a little changes to the mustache or beard colors, whatever you'd like. This is just a guide. So now that everybody's done here, I'm going to space everything out, and then I'm going to bring in my colors and number of leaves per little section. So on the ends, I used 3 leaves, and on the in between each gnome, I just used 2 leaves. So I tried to vary the colors so we had a nice smattering of them. And you don't have to use all of them, but it's really cool to have them on other projects throughout your house. I am loading up my darning needle with embroidery thread, and I'm just going to pierce it through the felted wool ball. And then I'm going to start from the back, and I'm just going to thread on a few of these leaves and just pull them down. And you can move everything around a little bit later. The great news about felt is that it's not going to be, rolling around on your garland. To attach the gnome, do stay sort of at the bottom. You can either do the bottom like this, or you can do the very top of the hat. But if you do it anywhere in between, your gnomes are going to tip over and not be able to be seen. So just stick to the bottom or the very, very top. So I'm just going to continue here, alternating wool balls and leaves and gnomes until I get to the end. I'm going to speed that up for you so you don't have to watch. All right, so we're almost done, and now what we can do is just tie 2 small loops down on the end. You can do the slip knot, or you can just tie them in place. But you can see mine here, and here it is close up, and nice, these fall coordinating colors. Well, you can get the pattern for this below, but let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Would you make this? Would this decorate your mantle or a tree perhaps? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, please like and subscribe for more crafty fun.